right, Rainbow fans. In the soon-to-be starting video, you're going to see me use an AquaMate 1 with this particular D4C SE. And you're going to see, at the end of the video, toward the end of the video, a lot of foam buildup in here. Now, I know for people who are Rainbow fans, you want to use the recommended Rainbow fluid. I decided to use a different fluid than that, a Hoover fluid, and it foamed an awful lot. But as you'd see in the video, it didn't go beyond the little center stick, and it did not get into the separator or cause the machine any harm or damage in any way, shape, or form. Didn't cause the motor to speed up or slow down in any way, shape, or form. Nothing made any funny noises. It just simply ended up having an awful lot of foam. So for those people who are sticklers for following everything in the manual, I understand. But I will say this about the green Hoover fluid. Probably if I used a little bit less, it wouldn't be quite as foamy. However, it did a good job cleaning and everything smells nice. So if you're very careful, you might be able to get away with it. But just as a warning that you will get an awful lot of foam in here, and you don't want to get too much to be sure, because these things over foaming, not really recommended. So I already know that. No need to jump all over the comment section or anything about the over foaming. I'm well aware of it. So anyway, enjoy my probably one and only video of the AquaMate 1, the original AquaMate. Okay, how many of you have ever seen one of these before? So usually attached to one of these, although the manual says a D3 and a D2A, I think, can also handle one of these. Probably because of the hose connector on the end. Anyway, here we have an AquaMate, and if I'm remembering right, this is an AquaMate 1 or the original or the first or something like that. And it came with my D4C SE with the PE nozzle. At the end of 2015, I got this set up, and of course it was the usual wreck, as I always get stuff. So I went ahead and reconditioned everything, including this crazy AquaMate. So let's take a closer look at this thing from all sides. So we have, well, I guess I'll start out with here. We have obviously a non-electric hose. No need for electric with this. Don't try to force an electric hose on it. And this hose is 50 feet long. And I just read the manual and it says use something somewhere between cold and warm. Don't use hot because, well, it might damage the hose and or the carpet. I don't think I'm too worried about hot water damaging the carpet, but I guess if you use really hot water on this particular hose material, maybe you could actually melt. And since this is about 20 years old, I don't want to well, push it, I guess, as it were. I was able to get some extra parts for this and recondition this as much as possible. I do have an adapter for the end of this that allows me to connect it up to, like, say, a garden hose, for example, and maybe even other sink faucets. Let's see if I can unwind this a little bit. So I'm in the basement, and I want to go and water extract this chair. This chair has a cloth top. It's foam underneath. I don't use it much anymore, but this has not been water extracted ever. So think about 15 years. Doesn't look dirty, but I have no idea what I'm going to be able to get out of it. We're going to find out. So I guess I should probably unwrap this. That's going to take a while to unwrap this, and I don't know if you want to watch me unwrapping this thing. Well, why not? Guess it's not too bad. Glad it was 50 feet, because I'm going to have to hook the water section up to the first floor. And for that, I'm going to go up the stairs. There's the door up there. And go into our kitchen sink that's on the first floor. So let's take a look at some other things, other pieces in here. I think we can read this if I can get a good focus on it. There we go. I think that says 98, and that's when this was made. I mean, who knows? There's a lot of other little stamps on here, but I know that all this came together. So I'm going to say this is probably 1998. These usually are kind of messed up and fairly green. I've cleaned, obviously, the tube out, made sure that this is unclogged, and if it ever does get clogged, I still have the factory little pin, which is kind of funny, to stick in there to unclog this. So I think this is just an absolute riot that they actually include a little pin, because the nozzle output is right down in there. Yeah, that's probably about the best focus that I can get on that. And I guess periodically that could get clogged. But everything's in really good shape, at least the last time that I used it, which was just about a little over 2 years ago, sometime in early 2016. And you see you've got these little wands that connect in here. And I think you can even take off one of these tubes and shorten this up a little bit so that you could make the wand shorter. But of course, the water supply would have to probably just kind of dangle, and it would be a rather large loop. Now I got the hose off. Take a look at this. So see, you've got a wash and a rinse, and all that does is squeeze that little black tube in there. Let's see, we've got this bottle release. There we go. See, this is a little squeezable tube. I can squeeze it with my fingers. And when you go and put this back and forth, when I went and took this completely apart and reconditioned it, I got kind of a laugh because there isn't really like a normal water valve or switch per se. This is just a pressure fit that just squeezes that. So I got kind of a kick out of it. Here you have a button to press to go and fill this with water. So that's kind of nice. I don't have, and I'm not going to use the rainbow solution. I'm probably just going to use a little bit of the Hoover carpet cleaner solution, and I'm not going to put very much in. So they recommend to use the AquaMate cleaning formula. You go and fill it up to a certain line with it, and then after you reinsert this on here, to conveniently fill it to the max line with water, you simply go and push this button, and that diverts some of the water and conveniently fills this. And that's kind of nice. So you don't have to totally prepare the solution in here if you don't want to, and then connect it back up. And of course, here's the fun part here, the little squeeze lever that goes and makes all kind of nice things happen through this hose, I hope. The last time I used it, even with our tremendous water pressure, I noticed what came out here wasn't the strongest stream in the world. And yes, everything was completely checked for blockages and whatnot. It just wasn't a super strong stream. So I'll see how it is now, because I have not used this, like I said, in a couple years. So I don't know what kind of condition it's in, but you know what? My biggest concern that I hope is that it doesn't leak, especially this connection. So hang on and I'll be right back. All right, I've got the water on now upstairs in the kitchen faucet. Let's see if this thing is alive after all these years. Well, really just 2 years in storage. So I'm starting to see some bubbles in here. That's good. Nothing's leaking down here, and I haven't put this on yet. So let's see what happens. Oh, I'm seeing some water. I'm seeing some water. We got a little squirt going on. Yep. It's dribbly. It's definitely dribbly. All right, so let me see if I can do this without shooting the camera. Oh, there we go. Over All right, hope you can see that. Get the air out. There we go. All right, so that's it from the underside. Now there's a lot of air in the line, right? So I've got to work on getting the air in the line out. So I guess it more or less works. Let's see, let me see if I can refocus that. Right in there. So that's what it looks like. Of course, it's sideways, right? But I guess that works, more or less. All right, let me refocus on this guy. Of course, now the chair is wet. And I'm going to stop the camera, put some of this in there, fill it up, see how it goes. So far, so good. Okay, I've got my solution in there. Now I'm going to press the magic fill button, which is unfortunately on the other side, and you can't see it right here. Press bottle fill. So let's fill it up. Isn't that nice? That's convenient. Okay, and that's good enough. Well, at least I think it's good enough. A lot of foam in here. Of course, it's not the right stuff. I don't know how foamy it's actually supposed to be. All right, I'll leave it there. And you've got a rinse and wash button that's in there. So let's try the wash, see how it goes. So I'm going to do the best I can. I might change camera angles a little bit, see if you can make this out. All right, let's try it at this angle, and then I'll probably change it. So, here we go. When I make good contact, the water does come out, the solution does come out. The trouble is, on a chair like this, it's pretty awkward. So I think I'm going to try a couple of different angles here. Yeah, I'll try this again. Maybe that looks better. Yeah. I'm going to bring you in closer. I'm almost out of wash. I probably have a quarter tank left. Now I'm doing rinse. I think I'm going to shorten this hose and see what I can do. So if I pull this out, well, get rid of one tube. That would be more accurate. So let's see. Let's pull the tube out, get this out. Put this in here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change tubes, I think. The little tab on this end here just doesn't stick out a whole lot anymore. So time to change the tube. But you know what? No leaks. I'm not experiencing any leaks. And that's one concern that I had, was whether or not I was going to get some leaks. This tube's in a little better shape. All right, that's better. Obviously the hose is going to be kind of weird. But it works, and I know this is like the most awkward thing you could do with this. Usually like for carpet or a more standardized flat surface, life would look better. But I needed to clean this chair, and I wanted to make a video of it. All right, here we go again. And I'm just in rinse mode here. Much easier. Now I'm going to flip the chair around. Okay, I got a little bit left. I'm going to put this on wash, finish it up. I'm going to put it on rinse. We'll rinse it. Alright. Now I'm just doing a dry pass. No additional water. Isn't bad at all. This right here is only medium wet. This ought to dry fairly quickly, I guess, unless I got it too wet into the foam. But this is not that wet. It really isn't. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so now I'm going to use it probably more like the manufacturer intended. So I've got to go and I drip some water on the carpet. I guess somewhere around here. Oh, yeah, some of it there. And let's extend the hose. It's back on here. Get everything hooked back in and use it like you probably would normally expect to see it. So I got this little keepers, two keepers right here. Got to get the length. There you go. So it works. A little better than I remembered, I guess. And you know what? It's fun to use. And it's not loud and obnoxious. By other Hoover, it's loud and obnoxious. Alright, I'm going to put it on wash. Got a little bit of nothing in here. Let's see what happens. That's it. I'm out. So put it on rinse. Try to push it forward on the carpet. You can do it, but it's a little rough. So I'm doing a dry pass now. No water. Let's take a little bit of here. If I try to push it forward on medium pile carpet, I mean, you can do this, right? You can rock it back and forth, but you can't really push it this way, so it's only a full torque stroke. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of water come up now. Hold it right there. Alright, I'm not seeing anything appreciable now. How do you think? Right there? Maybe I just did something there. Alright, so that was fun. And now we get to see what it picked up. And I don't know if this is going to show up very well because it's a lot of foam. So let's see if I can grab the camera out of the mount. So that's what we have. I got a lot of foam. So let's look up underneath. Yeah, I'm seeing some dirt. Definitely there's something there. Not a whole lot, but you know what? I normally keep that chair fairly clean with dry vacuuming, and here it is. So this is, oh, medium wet, no more. I hit it pretty hard. This is medium wet. Smells nice, smells like Hoover stuff. And if you come over here on the back, like I showed you before, this is medium dry, really. I didn't hit it that hard, so not a big deal. But I'm wondering, let me move this, how wet is the carpet? Now, I didn't hit the carpet that hard, but let's see if there's anything underneath here. All right, so you can see some wet spots. This, though, is where I was dripping as I was putting it together. I think some of it off camera and whatnot, but I mean, this is no big deal. It's going to go away. So that's ever so slightly damp. I could probably water extract this side, so not a problem. It's easy when you can go and pick the carpet up. So this is, now I did a dry pass, right? This is moderately wet. So as far as carpet goes, it leaves the carpet moderately wet. I think a little bit wetter than my Hoover steam vac, which of course doesn't steam, it's just a name. So this is a little bit wetter, and I even did a dry pass. So the suction, I suppose, to get the water up probably could be a little bit better. But that is, let me turn it around here so we get a good exit picture, kinda. Here, I'll grab the bowl. Why not? All right, and away we go. Here is my wonderful demonstration that I spent a whole lot of time editing on, not, of my late 1990s Rainbow AquaMate. I think their first AquaMate. And obviously their new ones are a lot more easier to use. But you know what? You had to start somewhere. And guess what? This isn't leaking. I got a couple of drips and stuff because I was changing things, but there's nothing that's squirting anywhere. And you can see the line goes all the way up to the basement door to the kitchen sink faucet. So that was kind of fun. I think I might use it for a few other things. And shortening the wand really helped in tight areas. Anyway, Rainbow fans, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.